What's up, Sun Rays? Welcome back to the channel. It's Ray. If you're new here, welcome. I'm sure you can see by the title that we're going to be talking about things that you should know before going natural. Okay, so I have had this channel since 2019 as far as doing, hair content on it since 2019. And then that's been a time I've never done a video like this, which you should know before you go natural, or what I wish I knew before going natural and things like that. There's several videos out there from other creators who have done it. I never did it. I decided to do one today about what you or someone who wants to go natural should know about before they go natural, not necessarily what I wish I knew. Now, I think I am going to do a what I wish I knew that will be specific to me, but this one is what you should know before going natural. And I'm doing that because I get a whole lot of comments or questions in my comment section, and I just want to be able to answer them in this video, because a lot of times I can tell by the questions that I get or what people say that they are not sure about their natural hair, or they're getting caught up basically. So I want to share with you some things that I think that someone who wants to go natural needs to know before they step out there. Okay. And this isn't all of them. These are, I just jotted down some things that just came to mind right off the bat. And then the list started getting kind of long, and I was like, okay, I need to cut it off. But then I was thinking, well, I might need to do a part 2. So we're going to see. I do want to preface this by saying this is not going to be a regular one like you would see. You need to know your porosity, and you need to, be ready for shrinkage and all that. That stuff is true. That may be in another one. This one is one that is something that I think I just need to relay to people, that people just need to know so they can make an informed decision, if you understand what I'm saying. So anyway, let's go ahead and just get started. I'm not doing it in any particular order. I'm just, going to what came to mind. I jotted down, and we're gonna go with it. Okay, so the first thing I want to say is you need to know your why. Why do you want to go natural? It makes a difference. If you're wanting to go natural because it is the trend, it's what people are doing, then that may not be a good enough reason. And I say that because you're going to get a lot of feedback, a lot of comments, and things like that once you go natural. And if you don't know really why you're doing it, and you don't have a good reason, those comments and things can be discouraging. They could be. Now, it depends. If you're going to transition and nobody is really knowing, and you're going to be a straight natural and things of that sort, you may not have to do it the same thing as someone who big chops maybe, or someone who wants to wear their hair in their natural state or curly state, or not necessarily straightening their hair. So I do want to preface that, but you have to know your why, because it's not easy. It's not an easy journey. And what I mean by easy is it's not going to come without some comments. And they may not necessarily be really mean comments like, oh, your hair is ugly. Sometimes people will say that. But they could just be regular comments like, how do you get your hair like that? Especially from another demographic, people wanting to touch your hair and things like that. Those kind of things, if you're not ready for them, can be offensive, can be, you know what I'm saying? And you have to know how to navigate that, things like that. You also need to think about it as far as your workplace and stuff like that. So you're going to get some feedback and comments that you may not be ready for if you don't know why you're going natural. If you're going natural because you want to go natural and you have a good reason for going natural, and you are confident in yourself, then that's great. But if you're doing it for somebody else, or you're doing it for because it's the thing to do, and then as soon as something comes up where your hair doesn't look like you want it to look, or somebody says something crazy or whatever, you're ready to give up, then maybe you need to just forget about it. Okay, so I will say that you definitely need to know your why, so that you're ready and confident when someone mentions something else to you about your hair that may not sit well with you. Okay, because there are people who will say something. Okay. So I want you to know that. Number 2, it's okay if nobody likes your hair but you. Okay? So that goes back to knowing your why. It is okay if no one likes your hair but you, because there are going to be people who will not like it. There will be people who will ask you, why did you cut all your hair off? Or why did you do that? Or your curls look like this. Or you need to go and straighten your hair. Girl, did you comb your hair today? Whatever the case may be. Now, I didn't have anybody say things like that to me, but I know people who have had people say things like that to them. And if you are not confident in why you are going natural and why you want to rock your natural hair, then those things can really be discouraging. So it's okay if nobody likes your hair but you. You have to like it. You have to embrace it. You can't let your identity be swayed, or you can't let someone else project their insecurities onto you. Okay, so if they're saying something about your hair, it's probably because they're scared. They're fearful. They're not going to go natural. So, because they're scared to show their natural hair. So when they look at yours, they're going to say something about you. You can't let that sway you. You have to be okay with your natural hair and whether somebody else likes it or not. Okay, so you can't find your identity in whether somebody else likes your hair, because somebody might like it and then you feeling good. Somebody else don't like it, then you shrinking feeling bad. And somebody else may say something, and you need to know that you love your hair and you like your hair whether anybody else in this world likes it or not. And be confident in it. Okay? So number 3, you need to know that the most expensive products or the most popular products are not always the best products. Okay? So that's not to say that expensive products are not good. Some of them are. That's not to say that inexpensive products are not good. Some of them are. But it's also flipped. There's also expensive products that are not good, and there's also inexpensive products that are not good. So you can't always go by the price. Okay? So I just want to let you know that when you're watching these YouTube channels and people are using really expensive products, or they're ordering products, or they're saying these are clean and these are the ones you need to use for your hair and all that stuff, take all of that with a grain of salt, because there are some very inexpensive products that are good out there. Okay, and there's also some expensive products that are really good. You have to find what works for you. So don't just go by what people say. Okay? Expensive doesn't always mean the best. Popular, what's trending on social media, doesn't always mean it's the best. Okay? I found that out the hard way. I get stuff people have talked up and it's like, what? It's not for me. It could be for them, but that's what I'm saying. Don't go get this because they said it, and get this because it's expensive, and this, and you spend all this money and none of that stuff worked for you. Okay? Start out small, in my opinion, and then work your way up if you want to do that. All right? My next tip. Use what works best for you. Okay? So that piggybacks off of what I said before. Use what works best for you. If you have a favorite shampoo already that you use and you love it and it's doing what it needs to do for you, keep using it. Okay? If you have a favorite conditioner or whatever that works for you, keep using it. You don't have to go out and buy all this stuff. You don't have to become a product junkie. Use what works best for you until it doesn't. And what I mean by that is sometimes our hair will change with the seasons. So something that may work really well for you in the summer may not work as well in the winter because the air is drier, whatever the case may be. Vice versa, some may work really well in the cooler months, and then when you get to the hot months, it's real humid, it may not work as well. So use what works for you until it doesn't, and when it doesn't, switch up to something else to see what works better in that particular climate, okay? And then stick with it and use those things over and over and over if they're working for you. Don't feel like you gotta use this, oh, this new product came out, I gotta go get that. If you are natural, you need to use things that work well for you. Don't try to use what works for me because it may not work for you. You understand what I'm saying? So when you're looking at YouTubers like myself or anybody else, think about what they're saying in their videos. Think about where they live compared to where you live. Think about their hair and things like that. Take all this stuff in consideration and then decide if that may be a product that will work for you or not. If you're thinking, no, that's not going to work for me, then don't get it. Don't get it just because I say it's good. If something else is working for you, keep using that product that works well for you. Okay? You know, people will be like, oh, I can't do Cantu, or I can't do Cream of Nature, or I can't do what, you know, I'm not a Cantu person myself. But if someone else, I know people who swear by Cantu. When they first went natural, Cantu is what held them down. So that's what I'm saying. Listen, eat the meat and spit out the bones. If something that they say resonates with you and you think, oh, that may really work for me because of XYZ, then yeah, try it if you need that product. Okay? But if you don't need the product, don't buy it just because, you know. But yes, eat the meat and spit out the bones. If what they're saying doesn't resonate, you know it's not going to be a fit, then don't get it just to say that you have it in your stash. All right. Okay. Next tip for those who want to go natural: find a routine and a regimen that works for you. Okay. Some people use those things interchangeably, routine, regimen. There is a difference, okay? So, for instance, a regimen is like a systematic plan for something that you want to accomplish or whatever. So, for instance, you're natural, you want to make sure that you have healthy, natural hair, okay? Healthy natural hair. That's your goal. So what is your regimen that's going to get you there? What is that systematic plan that's going to get you there? I need to shampoo. I need to deep condition every week. I want to get regular trims, and then style my hair or whatever. I'm just throwing out things that you would do to get to healthy natural hair. Make sure my scalp is clean by shampooing. Make sure my hair is conditioned. Make sure that I get regular trims. Make sure that low manipulation, whatever the case may be. You decide what your regimen is to get you to your goal, okay? So you need to have a regimen, and then you need to make it a routine. So that's the difference. The routine is doing it constantly. What is my routine? Am I going to do these things once a week? Am I going to wash my hair once a week? Or am I going to do it every 3 to 5 days? But whatever you decide your routine is going to be, then you need to keep doing it. It means that you're doing it over and over and over again to get to your goal. So your routine is, I'm going to make it a routine. I'm going to do this every week, or I'm going to do it every 2 weeks. Maybe you're a twist out girl and you want to have your twist out for 2 weeks or whatever. Have at it, do you. What is my routine? I'm going to wash my hair and do all this stuff every 2 weeks, So you need to figure out what your regimen is and what your routine is, and you need to stick to it. And it's going to take some time to figure that out. But you decide. So you might want to start out doing it once a week. And if you say, well, I don't like how my hair is looking toward day 5, 6, 7, then maybe you want to change it and have your routine where you are shampooing or co-washing or whatever every 4 to 5 days. And then redoing it. So you do that. Or maybe you're like, shoot, after 7 days, my hair's still looking good. I want to see if I can, stretch it or whatever. I wouldn't advise that. That's just me. But you do, like I said, what's best for you. You find out what your routine is, your regimen is. You make your routine. You make your regimen that's best for you and your hair. And you stick to it. You don't have to change it up because somebody else. So if you know your hair looks good and feels good, doing it every 7 days, but I do mine every 5 days, then keep doing yours every 7 days. You don't have to do it every 5 days because I do it every 4 to 5 days. So don't look at my hair and say, oh, her hair look good. She does it every 4 to 5 days. I'm gonna change mine up and do it every 4 to 5 days. Don't do that. Now, if you want to try it, you can, but I would say if something is working and working well and you're seeing the growth and the progress that you want to see in your hair, then keep doing what you're doing, okay, until it's not working. Then you can change up. So maybe in the summer you can go, 7 days, but maybe in the winter, because your hair is feeling a little drier, you may want to do it 4 to 5 days to keep that moisture in or whatever. But you have to come up with what's best for you and do those things. Okay, so a routine and a regimen is very important with natural hair before you become natural, because if you just do any and everything and you don't have any rhyme or reason as to when you do your hair, how you do your hair, and all this kind of stuff, and it starts to break off, or it's dry, or it doesn't flourish like you want it to, that's why it's very important to have a set regimen and a set routine for your hair. Okay. The other thing that you need to know before going natural kind of piggybacks off of what I said in the beginning. And what you need to know is it's okay if your hair does not look like hers, whoever her is. Now, I know that you're getting on YouTube and you're looking at all these YouTubers and you're looking at your hair and you're comparing her hair to your hair or contrasting it, whatever. Okay? It's okay if yours does not look like hers. And I know you're doing it because I did it in the beginning. And I was like, oh, my curls don't look like this and my curls don't look like that. And my curls are never going to look like that. And your curls are never going to look like hers. Your curls are unique to you. They're your curls and her curls are hers. Does that mean that you can't have beautiful wash and go or a beautiful twist out or beautiful kinks, a beautiful afro, whatever it is that you're rocking? It's just going to be yours. And I tell you, mark my words, there is somebody else that is going to see you on the street, see you at church, see you at work, or wherever they see you, and they are going to be envious of your hair. Okay? We always want what we don't have. So don't compare your hair to someone else's. It's okay if your hair looks like your hair and doesn't look like my hair. My hair didn't always look like this. My hair, I started out with a TWA. It looked like an afro. It was dry in my opinion. And then it got, a little bit curlier, and then it got in the awkward state. It just, the curls change, the hair change, and as you keep wearing your hair and working with your hair and loving your hair for what it is, it's going to be exactly what you want it to be. Okay, but you have to love your hair for what it is and quit trying to make it do what somebody else's hair is doing. So if you can't do that, then you may want to wait. You may want to wait on going natural, okay? Because you are going to be so disappointed. You're going to be like, my wash and go don't look like yours. I went and bought all those products and they don't work. And my wash and go didn't last 7 days and yours did. What did you do? And you're going out and you are buying every bonnet that everybody has. You buying every scarf. You're buying all the oils. You buying all this stuff that this person that you're watching is using, trying to make your hair look like hers, and it is not, or his, and it is not. It is your hair. Embrace your hair, okay? The other thing I would suggest you know before going natural is to go ahead and start looking for a natural hairstylist or a professional stylist. I'll just say that, a professional stylist, okay? Start looking for a professional stylist so when you need those trims, those regular trims, you have someone to go to. I wouldn't suggest you try to trim your ends yourself now. This is one of those things where don't do as I do, do as I say, because I have trimmed my ends myself. Do I recommend it? No, okay? But I'm okay with jacking up my hair. And if my hair is jacked up, I'm still gonna walk outside like it's not, okay? If you don't have that confidence and you jack your hair up and then you mad and you trying to wear a hat and you throwing on wigs and all this kind of stuff, nothing against wigs or anything like that, but I'm just saying, if you feel like you have to do something to cover it up because you have jacked up your hair, because you don't feel confident in your hair and how it looks, then go ahead and have a professional stylist that you know that you can go to make sure that they trim your ends regularly, to make sure you get your hair assessed every once in a while, to make sure it's doing what it needs to do, and things of that sort, okay? So I would say that it is harder for me, this is my experience, because I did not, a natural hair stylist did cut my TWA, but I didn't stick with her. And because I didn't, I just started doing my hair myself. I got to the point where I was skeptical of going to stylists because of, them cutting all your hair off, or a lot of them, there were few at the time that I went natural that were available. A lot of the stylists that I knew of, and word of mouth, they weren't doing curly hair. They wanted to, put that heat on my hair, and they wanted to, you know what I'm saying. So because of that, I just didn't go. I wouldn't suggest that. I would suggest you find one, do a consultation, talk to them, tell them your concerns and everything, and then y'all work out something together where they can trim your hair, whether you want your hair cut in a straight state, which is what I would suggest, to make sure all your ends are good, or if you want a curly cut and it's cut in a curly state for shape. But I definitely would make sure that the stylist did both if it could, but if not, yes, cut it in a straight state. And then if you want it shaped up, maybe find a curly hair stylist to give you some shape or something like that. But I do think that regular trims are important to long, healthy, natural hair. So there you go. And just making sure that the scalp is healthy, and things of that sort. But again, know your hair, know what's best for it. Know what you like, things like that, because not all stylists, but some stylists will try to get you to use the products that they want you to use and things like that, and they'll put them in your hair, and your hair look okay while you're in the salon, and then you get home and then you're trying to use those products and you can't quite get them to work the same and stuff like that, or the hair isn't feeling as moisturized as it usually do, or whatever the case may be. You have to know what works for you and not be swayed by everybody's opinions. Don't be swayed by everybody's opinions, even mine, okay? So that's why this first one is more of things to do, mindset wise, and to look for, versus what products to use, whether, porosity matters, and all those things. All those things, are important. We can talk about that stuff too. But what I want to share is things that you are going to be going through mindset wise too. You know what I'm saying? while you're going natural, and how to navigate so you're not a leaf in the wind just fluttering here and there. You got a course, you got a regimen, you got a routine, you got the products that work. You know, you're on a course and you see that finish line ahead. You're not going here and here and here and there's like, where's the finish line? Okay, hopefully that's making sense, guys. I know, look, this is gonna be long. This is gonna be long. That's why I said I started writing stuff down, and I'm thinking, man, this might be long. I should cut it into 2 parts. We'll see. Anyway, my next tip for what you should know before going natural is it's a process, okay? It's a process. You need to know that it's a process. You need to know that going natural and accepting your hair, whatever it is, may not happen overnight. Okay, some people go natural and they love their curls and they can hit the ground running. If that's you, more power to you, great. Most people who have had relaxers and are going natural are having to really look at their natural hair and really start to change their mindset, which is another tip of mine. So know that you're probably not going to love it right away, but you need to embrace it. Know that it may not act like you want it to act right away, but that's okay because it's used to being straight. So now you got to get it used to being in its natural state, which is curly, which is an afro, which is kinky, which is wavy, whatever yours is. It has to get used to that if you're coming off of a relaxer, okay? So it's a process. It's going to take time, okay? If you have been relaxed for years and then you try to go curly and you wonder why, you know, your curls aren't popping or you got some straight, because I'm going to tell you something. Let me tell you this. I had a TWA cut off all my relaxer, and it's funny because my hair was curly and like in a short curly afro. But then I had these pieces that were sticking up straight. And I was like, is that heat? What is that? I said, you didn't get all the, I'm thinking, did she not get all the relaxer off? No, she got all the relaxer off. The hair is crazy. The hair, some of it may be curly. Some of it may be straight or whatever until it learns to curl back up. So, so just be ready for that. You're going to hit an awkward stage. It's a process. If you start out with a TWA, as it grows out, you're going to get to the awkward stage where it's not as cute because it's not real short. It's not long enough to hit your shoulders, and you're not going to like it. You have to press through. It's a process. So you are going to hit a whole lot of milestones that you may not like in this natural hair process. But again, if you know your why, which you need to know, and you have your regimen and your routine down and your products that you work and everything, and you have that goal in front of you, you will be okay. You just need to stick to it. It seemed like it's for the awkward stage is forever, but it's really not. It's really not. It'll grow out to where you want it to be, or you'll just do something different for that awkward stage. You know, pull side of your hair back or wear it in puffs or do whatever you have to do to get through that, and then keep on going, and then you'll be like, oh, okay, that wasn't so bad. So it's a process. Don't think that it's going to happen overnight where you're going to have fabulous curls overnight. You're going to learn all your hair products overnight. You're going to know exactly what to use. No, you're going to take time to do that stuff, just like it took you time to learn what worked when you were relaxed, how to wrap your hair. That used to be a process for me. It's like, man, I can't wrap my hair without having this cone at the top, but I had to keep practicing and keep practicing. Things like that. So it's funny how people want the natural hair journey to go so fast and just happen like that, but they forget that no, even when you were relaxed, you had to learn certain things. You had to learn how to wrap your hair. You had to learn how to, if you were doing the flexi rods or whatever, you had to learn how to use those. You know what I'm saying? There's things that you had to learn. If you're a makeup person, you had to learn how to put on makeup the way you liked it. And it took time to find what foundation worked in all this. All of our lives, we have had to learn certain things and everything, but we want the natural hair journey to go like this. And if it doesn't, well, it's hard. It don't work for me. I gotta buy all these products. It's expensive. It's expensive being relaxed. Those relaxers cost a lot of money. And you gotta go every so often. And then you gotta get all the appliances to keep it straight. And you gotta, it's expensive too. It's expensive too. You just forget it. You forget. But anyway, so it's a process. So I want to let you know that. The other thing I want to let you know before you go natural, and this is very important, it takes a mindset change. It takes a mindset change to go natural, because we have been conditioned that straight hair is beautiful and that our kinky hair is not. So you got to change that mindset. Okay? You have to change the mindset of what is beautiful and what is acceptable. Because our natural hair is beautiful in every texture and form that it comes in. It is beautiful. And if you have to tell yourself over and over and over and over again, it is beautiful, it is beautiful, it is beautiful, it is beautiful, then do that. Because it is. It's acceptable, it's acceptable, it's acceptable. Because guess what? It is. And we have been conditioned for years to think that it is not. And so you're not going to think that it's beautiful overnight. You have to condition yourself again over and over and over to think that it's beautiful and it's acceptable. If you're not ready to make that mindset change, then you might want to wait. Because I'm going to tell you, as soon as somebody look at you funny, as soon as, or even if they don't, if they just looking because they may be admiring your hair, but because they're looking at you, you're thinking they're thinking something negative because you're thinking something negative about your hair, then you get discouraged and you don't want to do it and you finding all these things wrong with it. No, don't be critical of your hair. If you rock it with confidence and you believe and you start to believe that it's beautiful, it is your God-given hair, the hair that God blessed you with, then everybody else is going to think it's beautiful too. Most people, I'll put it that way, most people is going to think it's beautiful too. There are going to be those few that are conditioned to think that natural hair, no matter what, it could be the most beautiful afro, the most beautiful curls or whatever. Some people are still going to not think it's acceptable. That's their problem. That goes back to you need to know your why and you need to know who you are outside of other people's thoughts. And that's my next tip. The next tip before you go natural is you need to know who you are. Who are you? Who are you outside of your relaxed hair? Who are you outside of your kinky hair? Who are you outside of your curly hair? If you had no hair at all, who are you? And are you okay with that person? Are you okay with that person? Do you know who you are? Is your identity based in your hair and your looks? Or is it based in Christ? Even if you don't know Christ, is your identity based on who you believe that you are and not who somebody else believes that you are, what you should be? Because if you only think you look good when somebody tells you you look good, you only think that your hair is beautiful when someone else says it looks beautiful, but if don't nobody say that to you, then you don't think that you're beautiful, that's a problem. You need to know that you're beautiful, that you're worthy, that you're, acceptable, all these things outside of what anybody else thinks or feels about you. Who are you? If you go with the wind, like I talked about before, if you feel bad, if you don't have the latest clothes and the latest purse and the latest this, and if you're not having what everybody else having, you don't feel up to par, then that's a problem. Because you are important, you are worthy, you are beautiful if you don't have any of those things. And I don't mean for this to be a preachy session or whatever, but I'm telling you, the people that are in my comments and the people that always comment, your hair is so beautiful, your hair goes, I want my hair to look like yours, it didn't look like yours, what did you sleep in, how long did you sleep, and this and this and this and that. I want to help, I want to answer those questions, but I don't want you to try to get your hair to look like mine. I want you guys to know your worth and your beauty in your own natural hair, regardless of if it looks like mine or not. If your hair stands straight up to the sun, raising its hands to the sun and to the Lord that we serve, be happy that it is raising its hands up to God. I mean, not trying to be funny, but I'm just saying it's a process, and I didn't get there overnight. And that's why I'm telling you that it takes a strong person to be able to go natural, because it's not an easy easy sometimes. It's not easy to do. So you can't do it because it's a trend. You can't do it because your friend did it and her hair is pretty and you want yours to look like hers. No, you have to know your own reason for wanting to go natural, rock your natural curls, and you got to be ready for what it takes. And last but not least, it's okay to follow your own rules when it comes to it. Don't feel like you have to follow all these trends. If you want to use oils and butters, use oils and butters. If you want to use grease, use grease. If you want to wear twist outs all the time, do that. If you want to do wash and goes all the time, do that. Whatever you want to do and what works best for you to make you love your hair, then you do that. But just make sure that you have your regimen where you're shampooing, you're conditioning, you're doing the things that you need to do to keep it healthy. Okay? So I just want to stress that. But it is your journey. It's your hair. You have to love it. You have to do what works best for you. So that's it, guys. Those are my tips for those of you who want to go natural, what you need to know before you go natural. If you like this video, please let me know in the comment section below. If you want to see another video similar to this with other tips as far as porosity and things like that, let me know that. And if you are ready to see what I wish I knew before I went natural, let me know that in the comment section too, and I'll bring that to you. Again, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.